Welcome back to the channel. This is Football Tempo brought to you by Azar Studios. The fixtures for the 2025-2026 Premier League season has been officially released. And the team that will succeed Liverpool, or whether Liverpool will defend their title, will start very soon. For Arsenal, it is now 2 decades go and counting without winning the English Premier League. For Manchester United, their chief CEO, Omar Barreda, have said that their target is to win the league in 2028. So they are not concerned about fighting for the title come next season. Uncanny Sam and the Bishop joined me as we look at the fixtures for the Premier League season. The headline for match day 1 is Manchester United up against pretenders Arsenal. Uncanny Sam.
Yep.
Big fixture to start the Premier League season.
Big fixtures.
Big one.
Extremely big. Well, yeah, extremely big. But I mean, considering where Manchester United finished last season, it's not that big. I mean, you're talking about
15th position, second position.
15, so come on, the goal is wide. But come on, that's just why they have different, because we're going to say different team.
Man United are a big club
next season.
I'll tell you why they're a big club. Despite they finishing 15th on the
They were in the final.
apart from the finals. Man United's ticket, they have the highest most expensive ticket, £97.
They just supersede Arsenal. I think
They
Arsenal
found,
used to
I know they have.
expensive.
How can a team jump from 66
No,
pounds?
but come on, the other part. If you're talking about
I know how
quality,
can the 6 jump from 66 pounds? A team who finished 15th
It's the value of
to
the team.
97 pounds.
It's the value.
It's the value of the team.
I will not
It's the
watch.
value.
It's the value
I want
of
to
the
watch
team.
something that will cost me heart attack
Aside
and
Madrid,
pain.
if you're playing for Manchester United, aside Madrid, right, you can't go higher.
Yeah.
If you're playing for Manchester United, if you're going higher, you can only go to Madrid.
Madrid, yeah.
If you're going to any other team, you're not going higher.
In terms of
is either
the
you're coming
pedigree.
equal or you're going down. If you're playing for Manchester United,
Based on pedigree.
based on pedigree, based
But
on
this-
achievement,
but
based on
right-
record,
but
based on
right
every,
now-
based
You
on
know,
finance, based on structure, based on
when you
stadium,
walk past the
based
dressing
on
room,
culture, based on tradition,
look at the trophies you see.
Yeah.
based on impact and everything. So if you're playing for Manchester United,
They're playing for a big team.
the only thing that you're going for that probably you might call a big team probably is Madrid.
And that's why I feel sad for the fans paying such a
Because
amount of money.
just for example,
to
look
watch
at a
Premier
player
League.
like
But anyway,
look at a
That's
player
on
like
that's not why
Cunha.
we're here. Let's focus on the fixture.
So
You call that a big game for Arsenal?
of course it is.
How can
it
that be
is.
a
But
big
come
game?
on,
Did
for
you,
this
did,
business.
did you beat them last season?
Wow, we beat them once and drew
And-
at Old Trafford. But even that
In their worst form.
they were begging for the come on. They were begging
In
for
their
a-
worst
they were
form,
begging
also,
for a point.
you couldn't take 6 points
They were-
off them.
How many teams took 6 points off them?
Exactly.
In their worst
Yeah.
How many
form.
took 6 points
How
off
many
from Man
teams
United?
took 6 points out of
Not even the
Manchester
champions.
Out of Manchester
Not
United.
the champions.
I don't have the numbers, but I know a few teams.
Not
took
even the
6
champions.
points.
Liverpool.
No,
Probably Chelsea, right?
no, Chelsea did not. Chelsea did not.
Chelsea did not. Arsenal
Chelsea
did
did
not. Liverpool did not.
Liverpool did not.
So who then did?
Man City.
No, Man City did not. They
Man
beat
City.
Man City.
So what are we talking
So
about?
what are we
Amorim
saying?
beat Man City.
So what are we
Liverpool
talking about
did.
here?
Liverpool did.
Come on away.
Okay, they drew. They drew.
They drew on the game. So big game. That's the way to start the Premier League.
Yeah.
But you know, for next thing, the team is going to be a bit rusty. So probably the level of
United
competition
don't have
is gonna be-
rustiness.
I
They're
mean,
not
all
playing the Club World Cup.
That's a subtle jab, guy.
They're not playing the Club World Cup.
I mean,
they should
come
be
on,
well
after
prepared.
2 months of
Rest.
break, what are you talking about? You can't come back
It'll
and
be
hit the
rusty
ground
now,
running
it'll be
almost
rusty.
Nah,
immediately.
preseason
first
will
game,
start.
It would have been
still be
sweet
rusty.
if it comes later,
The
about
third or
2,
fourth
3,
game,
4, 5
yes.
games into the season. Maybe in the first game, it is what it is.
And the,
I mean,
and the rule book says you must play what said before you.
that's a simple truth, and you must even consume what he said before you. If
Absolutely.
whosoever is better or good should go ahead and
Take
win
it,
that
take
game.
it, yeah.
But come on, as it stands today, Arsenal is going to be traveling away. Arsenal find it difficult to win away from what
What?
they have. I think last season they won.
Last season they
Yeah,
drew
last
away.
season. No, last season they won 1-0.
At
Towards the end of
Old
the towards the end of the season, 1-0. I think scored by is it
Declan Rice.
Is it Declan Rice? Oh, yeah, 1-0. Arsenal 1-0 away from home. I mean, that's in Old Trafford.
Yeah.
But that's the way to start the season. It's going to be amazing. But like I said, I would have loved you to come in 2-3 months. I mean, either match day 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. Then the teams must have actually probably
Got
gotten
some
themselves
kind
into
of
the mood
momentum,
of the season.
yes. Some kind of momentum, yeah.
But it is what it is. Amazing game that we're going to, because come on, before the end of the season, we're going to see 2 different teams completely. What we're seeing right now, what we saw at the end of last season, will not be
But
the
again-
same. Will not be the same, right?
No,
Because this team are going out there to buy. Some guys are leaving, while new guys are going to come in. So it will be
So the
a
different Man
entirely.
United and the different
No,
Arsenal.
the Premier League starts on Friday, August the 15th.
15, yes.
With Liverpool playing
Defending
host to
champions.
Bournemouth
Yeah.
in the first game. And it starts on the Friday night. What it
Which is
means-
the normal, I think,
which
for
is,
years
which
right
is
now.
there, which is now
For
what
years
we're
right now.
seeing.
That's how it has
The
been.
league will start on the Friday. Just to go through match day 1 fixtures in the English Premier League. For next season, the 2025-2026 season, Liverpool will host Bournemouth in the first game. Aston Villa will take on Newcastle United on Saturday. Brighton take on Fulham. Sunderland will take on West Ham. Sunderland are coming back
To the Premier League.
to the Premier League. Forest will
5,
take
6
on
years, right?
Brentford.
That
Nottingham Forest.
iconic city.
Will take on
Back,
Brentford. It's going to be a big season for Forest after what they did last season, narrowly missing out on Champions League football and then qualifying for the Conference League. How they'll be able to merge the Conference League and the English Premier League and other competitions. Spurs will take on fellow newcomers Burnley. Of course, it will be a new coach in the dugout, talking about Thomas Frank, who starts his reign with the opening fixture against Burnley, while Ait Nouri returned to the Molineux as Wolverhampton Wanderers play host to Manchester City on Saturday. On Sunday, that's on the 17th, we'll see Chelsea take on Crystal Palace in a London derby, while Manchester United play host to Arsenal, while Leeds United, who are also making a return to the Premier League at the Allen Road, who host Everton, who will no longer play at the Goodison Park in the new season. Big fixtures for all of these teams. But guys, let's look at Manchester United, Ruben Amorim, and his first 5 fixture this season in the Premier League. For Manchester United, they've gotten a date with Arsenal on
Match day 1.
Mm-hmm. They've gotten a date with Man City and Chelsea in their opening 5 games of the English Premier League. Not the kind of start Amorim would have wanted in the first full season.
At all.
Everybody.
But is it going to be an easy start?
Come on, man. See, you're looking at a manager who is trying to breathe a sigh of relief. The season just ended. I think if there's any manager who's happy that it has ended, it's Ruben Amorim. The pressure, the fire, the fans, calling everybody. And that's why we listen to his speech at the end of the season, where he kept telling the fans, believe there's a new light coming. Joy is coming in the morning. But unfortunately, joy he's going to get is Arsenal on the first day. What a game to start your season. And then, like you said, I play Man City. You're going to play the top 5 games. So they won't even give him time to rejig. Time for the players to understand, to on the kind of Sam said, to get into the flow of the season. And they are playing some top teams. Though we say those teams as well, I've not gone to the flow. But looking at Man City who play in the Club World Cup, some of them have been played already. At least they've gathered some kind of understanding among themselves. Man, it's not the right start. It's a baptism of fire for him. I'm one of those who said he's going to get...
in between those games is Crystal Palace and Burnley.
Yeah, I keep saying that. He's going to get
2 good teams too. They had a wonderful season last season.
Burnley coming into the league.
I know that he said...
Burnley defeated them 1 away last season.
See, my fans should...
No, Burnley are coming.
Burnley are
coming
for
Burnley. It's
Burnley.
Crystal Palace again. I won the FA Cup. See, for my fans, they should brace up next season. I don't know why I'm saying this. Like he said, I think it's going to get worse to get better.
I think it reminds me of the start Arsenal had 2022 or 2021?
Exactly.
When they have to play Chelsea, Man City.
They couldn't win a game until...
the first 5 games,
exactly.
I think they couldn't win a game. You understand?
Absolutely.
And that was, I think that was either first
season start,
in full charge, right?
Baptism of fire.
Now, sincerely speaking, this is when the start they want for anybody.
Any manager.
Anybody.
For 15 points also, how many can Amorim realistically pick up? Remember,
for a guy that...
the home games is against Arsenal,
yeah,
Burnley and Chelsea, while the away games is Palace and City. Realistically, how many points can they pick?
Well, for now, it's going to be difficult for you to just make a clear prediction because you never can tell
how the team starts. Yes.
Well, Gabi Abolao made a prediction for Arsenal. I don't know if you saw that video where he said the Gunners will only pick was it 7 points from the opening 6 games?
Who made that?
Gabi Abolao.
Okay, I mean, thank God for well. Thankfully, social media.
I think Gabi talks too much after his playing career. But player who stayed long enough. But anyway, that's another topic for that.
Here is it, because we don't know how the teams are going to look like for now. Because the transfer window just opened.
A lot of changes would happen.
So a lot of changes will happen. Even though it's going to be limited chances for both sides. Because come on, with the PSR, there's an extent that you can go in trying to bring in people. Until you let go a lot of people. And here's the thing with Manchester United, because they're up there. Most of their players don't want to leave. Because what you do in Manchester United, you hardly get it anywhere else. So even if your contract, even if you're not getting a playing chance,
you just
want to stay there
because
of
the contract.
The figure that comes into your pocket all the time. So when playing, like I said, the only thing that probably will come and offer is something bigger or better is going to be much. So there will be a lot of things that will happen in between, right? And you can never say with certainty that you expect Manchester United to do better or not to do better, because we expect them to let go guys like probably
Lindelof,
Anthony, and so many other guys, so we don't know who are going to
Sancho.
Until they let go those guys.
The club have closed the door.
Until they let, not just him alone, with Anthony and even Rashford.
Rashford has to also find this.
Have they closed the door on Rashford as well?
I don't think Rashford.
No, they have. Because
I think Rashford closed the door at Man United.
He wants to leave as well.
Yeah.
regardless of how you want to look at it. So it will be difficult. But if it is by what we saw last season, sincerely speaking, I could say Manchester United will end up probably 5 points out of possible 15.
Wow.
But if there's going to be reasonable changes,
Well, that's a big, that's a dagger to the chest.
So you're saying one win and 2 draws.
yeah, one or two
Probably a win
draws.
against Burnley, a draw against Palace, and maybe a draw against Chelsea or Arsenal. Because not Man City. I know Man City might not be what they used to be, but I don't think this United team will get maximum point for Man City when they play on match day 5.
Let me be modest. I think
It's gone with 5.
6 points.
6 points, 2
Yeah.
wins.
Which wins? 3 draws. They will draw a lot of games as they did last time. Amorim is the draw specialist.
So
now.
if they draw 3 and win 1,
yes.
that means losing 1 from 5. That's a good start.
That's a good start now.
That's a good start, but
You see,
point-wise,
people
it might
don't
not be a good
understand why
start.
what draws does to you until you go to week
Facts,
25,
facts.
26, 27.
Instead of losing 2 games in
Just
a row,
win
right?
3 and
win
lose
1
2.
and lose 1.
Exactly. You get 9 points. Who cares about what you're losing? Are you going for? Are they giving any prize for being unbeaten? There's no prize for being unbeaten. It's points that win games.
So you're going with 6 points.
6 points.
Well, let's switch and go to the Emirates Stadium, where Mikel Arteta, after finishing second on 3 consecutive occasions, if I'm not mistaken, will be
That's a
vying
new trophy in
to
Arsenal.
win to win the Premier League. Now, it starts match day 1 with a trip
To Old Trafford.
away at Old Trafford,
Yes.
and then welcomes newly promoted Leeds United on match day 2. Then travel to the Anfield Stadium to take on Liverpool on match day 3, and then play host to Nottingham Forest, Nuno Espirito Santo on match day 4.
Yes.
Before they then play host to Manchester City on match day 5, and then travel to Newcastle United to the St James Park on match day 6. These are the first 6 games for Mikel Arteta to try and win or go one better than the second position is done in the last 3 seasons. Mankani Sam,
Realistically,
how will Arteta
Going by preseason.
approach this game?
going by precedent, and if Arteta is going to get a goal scorer, realistically, I expect them to win at least 4, and probably draw 1 or 2. I mean, draw 2. Going by what we saw last season, I mean,
If they had a striker, right?
yeah, if you're going to get a striker, because that's their biggest problem right now. Now, I expect them probably to draw against Manchester United. That's
Okay.
what
They always draw against mine. I don't know why.
No, away from, come on, they got a point. They got maximum point last season. When they
They
chasing Man
draw.
City, yeah.
Declan Rice equalized for
Last
Bruno
season,
Fernandes.
score 1 goal when the rain was falling, when the day Old Trafford
day
was
Old
leaking.
Trafford was leaking.
You've forgotten. They got 1-0.
That was
Maybe
last 2 seasons.
That was last season when they lost
I
the
think last
game
season
with a
was
point.
last season was
I mean, last 2
Fernandes free kick.
seasons.
Yeah, last season.
Yeah, last
That's
season.
what
not last
free
season.
kick. Declan Rice
Yeah.
equalizer.
Last
My
season.
head's-
That's what
my
I mean.
head
Sorry.
doesn't- yes.
Yeah, last season. Now, so the worst result I expect them to get there probably is a draw. Against Leeds, come on, at home, I expect them to win. Against Liverpool at Anfield, worst result too, a draw. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
result.
Worst
Why
result,
can't
a
we
draw.
win at Anfield? Please, someone help me. Why can't we win at
Well,
Anfield?
I'm getting there, right?
Okay.
Then
So
next,
Liverpool are
the
going
next
for
match,
Florian Wirtz.
we've
They've
seen that happen.
signed, what's the name of the midfielder they signed?
We saw the struggle.
Frimpong.
Frimpong, yeah.
We saw the struggle at the end of last season.
Yeah.
And those 2 guys wouldn't just come and change everything about the team. And we know how it is. When you win, you struggle to win again. When you win a lot, actually, I mean, things start falling apart.
Yeah.
So, I mean, match day 3, Arsenal, Liverpool. Then match day 4, I mean, Arsenal, who?
Or match day 4 Forest.
Forest.
Okay, Arsenal,
They were
A very
Stadium.
tough side
I
last
expect,
season.
come on. They
But I think
were
Forest
punching above
will
their
not be
DC.
what-
Forest is going to be Arsenal problem. So that I can give Arsenal. Now, the 3 match I expect Arsenal to win is the Leeds match, the Forest match, and the Newcastle match.
game.
The
Away
match,
at
yeah.
St James's
At
Park.
Yes.
Newcastle, away at St James
Yes,
Park.
I expect them to
To
win
start
this
the
season
season,
because
okay.
I know how Newcastle is going to be uptight financially. I know they don't have so much to
That's
spend.
what-
I know
I
they
agree with you
cannot
that one.
improve their
They
squad.
can't too
So I
much.
know. I mean,
And they'll be likely to lose
had a
players
chance-
as well.
And
Alexander Isak and the rest of them.
they might not lose any of their player because they know they cannot sign. And even if they're going to sign, who's guaranteed that they'll sign players that are better than these guys right now that they have in their team?
That's a big
So
question.
I expect Arsenal, you understand, to drop point against Liverpool and this because they're playing away from home.
No, sir.
Why these other games, other home or away, I expect Arsenal to win.
You know, I'm going to speak from an analyst point of view.
No,
you know?
from an Arsenal point
I
of
know
view.
I kind of love Arsenal. I'll tell you Arsenal win 5 games, but come on. I'm just joking.
You cannot beat
I can-
you cannot beat Newcastle at St James Park. I can confidently say no. So your Arsenal will not beat Newcastle and St James
I'll
Park.
beat Newcastle.
We'll go back to this.
I'll
We'll go back to this.
See, Arsenal
Come
will get-
September.
I'll come back to you. And I'll remind you this. That Arsenal will beat
Arsenal
Newcastle.
will not beat
Arsenal
Newcastle
will
at
beat
St.
Newcastle
James
at the St. James's Park. And the striker that will come from anywhere will be the goal scorer in that game.
From where?
But anyway, I don't know where.
Victor Boniface.
I hope not. But anyway, guys, come on, man. I think I'll go with kind of Sam. 4 wins. I think Arsenal get 4 from 6. Like you said, if Arsenal get a striker, a proven striker, I fear no foe. You know, Arsenal, the way Arsenal played last season, you saw how they went toe to toe with Man United, Liverpool. they had a go at teams.
They didn't lose against
the
any of
reason,
the big
the
six.
reason why they didn't do like
They didn't lose
the reason why
against any
Arsenal
of the
are not
big
champions
six.
because Arsenal drew so many games.
That
Games they
was
should
it.
have won
That was
if
the
they
funny
had
enough. Liverpool
strikers.
lost more matches than Arsenal.
Exactly.
But Arsenal drew more matches than
Oh,
Liverpool.
Arsenal lost to draw.
Yeah, Arsenal drew about, I think 10,
Arsenal leave the
13
draw.
matches, right?
Arsenal have been drawing things since
Yeah.
Arteta became manager of the club. So right now, Arsenal need to focus on getting a striker win. I think Arsenal will get 4 wins, 2 draws. I think Arsenal will lose in the first 6 games. If they get a good striker, very good striker. But they will always see the one thing you show
They don't
Arsenal,
concede.
They will not concede and
That's
they will always
that-
create
The
chances.
only thing is, can they score?
Can they score
That's
goals?
the biggest issue.
Yeah.
They don't concede.
And that's the
That we
problem.
have agreed.
Havertz cannot do it.
4/6.
For 2 seasons
4/6.
back to back, they consider the first numbers of goals.
Exactly.
They have
And
the
they-
tightest defense.
And they've created lots of chances. Put that out
But
there.
they don't have a
But
goal
there's no
poacher.
Well,
That's true.
let's go to Chelsea, and of course, statistics show that Chelsea will end the season at home to Sunderland.
Yes.
Now, the last 2 times Chelsea have ended the season playing Sunderland on the final day,
They won the
the
league.
Blues have gone on to win the league. No, so
Come on.
Can the Blues go on to win the league
Except the
next
fire
season?
Enzo Maresca in January.
because Chelsea's first 5 games of the season
Very
looks
easy.
like a very easy
Very
fixture.
easy run.
They play Crystal Palace, West Ham United, Fulham, Brentford, and then Manchester
Manchester
United
United
to start the season.
You know my take all this while. I
Well,
always say
that's why-
developing players cannot win anything for you. What they have in that team is developing players, and there's no guarantee that they're going to overhaul that. Even the guys that actually come
I think
into-
they're done in the market too.
whether
Except they
they're
sell.
done in the market or not. Even the
I
guys
think they're done. That's
the
why they
guys
got Liam Diallo. Give him number 9
fine.
jersey.
Even the guys that came into that team are equally developing players, right? So my stand is developing players cannot win anything for
Okay.
you. Because I've seen that happen with Arsenal, I've seen that happen with so many other teams. Developing players, I think the only teams that looks that developing players try to win something, even though with a reasonable mixture of developed
Experience,
players, probably is Barcelona. But when you rely on developing players, what you saw
They
with
had some
Liverpool-
experienced players. Xavier and Iniesta.
No, I'm talking about of recent now, last
Okay.
season, this season.
Okay.
They have a lot of developing players in that team.
Brasi.
Yeah, they have a lot of developing players, but they've been able to win
But they have
something.
some experienced
because
players
of
there too,
because of the
preparation.
mix.
Yes,
But
mixture.
with Chelsea, there's no mix
No
completely.
mix. No mix.
So developing players.
And
it is-
Chelsea's
see,
oldest player is 27.
That's how bad
They
it
had
is.
the youngest
an
team last
outfield
season.
player.
Yes.
The
They
goalkeeper.
had the youngest team last season. I think average age, I think 24, right?
They're too young,
So
inexperienced.
developing players cannot, and they're not going for developed players. So that's just my listen. I don't
If
know
they
how they're
change
going
their policy, maybe they could improve. But
I'd-
like with the signings they're
See.
making now,
See,
So it will
see,
come to pass. They can't
there are
win
certain
the league.
laws in that are
not at the
natural.
stage of light.
There are certain laws that are natural, right? You can never put in. I mean, you cannot ever keep developing players side by side with developed players.
Prospects and
With-
stars
and
are
in a
two
marathon,
different things. Yes.
not one, not a
Not
tournament.
a quick fix. Not a, if it's the cup, you could do a smash and grab like Chelsea did in the Conference League. But you see, the Premier League is about. Forget about who. See, I'm one of those who believe. Forget about how you start the season. You end up playing everybody,
Well,
having the same number of games.
the way you start this matters.
It
a lot.
matters, but I'm saying, don't forget, we've seen teams started poorly. Let me give you an example. Chelsea.
Man City.
Chelsea played it poorly, and after
Antonio
that, lost
Conte.
to Arsenal. Exactly.
Antonio
Lost to
Conte's
Arsenal.
Chelsea.
Bang, 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 bang. So it's about the fact that you're going to play every single player and every
Funny
single
enough,
team on that group. So
If you have a developed team, you can start poorly because we've seen Manchester City start poorly. We've seen Arsenal start poorly, and they end up with the Champions League spot. You understand?
Yeah.
So, come on.
Chelsea will end up. I mean, you're not against Champions League.
No,
spots.
winning Champions League,
winning
whether
league.
Sunderland is there or not, winning the league is out
Can
of
they win
Chelsea's
the-
reach,
out of
right?
Chelsea's reach.
Yeah.
Because simple reason for me, developing
They
players,
can't win the league.
developing
They
players.
can't win the league.
Well, you've seen the fixtures for the start of the 2025-2026 Premier League season. Too early to call which team will definitely go on to win the Premier League season, which team will finish in the top 4, which team will qualify for the Champions League or not. Whether Manchester United will come back to European football, whether Arsenal can go one better or Liverpool retain their
One lower.
title. Or one lower for Liverpool.
No, Arsenal.
Okay, Arsenal. Okay,
Either
one better or one lower. And whether it
Come
will
on,
be City-
that's a punch below the belt.
whether it will be City
It's one
who will
upper.
come back, of course, to win the
Yeah.
title. It's the fun fact is that the last 12 Premier League years since the last time Sir Alex Ferguson won the league, are seen just 5 winners. 4 winners, I beg your pardon, in the Premier League. Liverpool winning 2, Chelsea winning 2, Leicester City winning 1,
yeah.
and of course the remaining 7 has gone to Manchester City.
Not a bad mix at all.
Would I be yet another winner, or it will be Liverpool who will retain their title for their 21st and then go outrightly as the team with the highest number of divisional titles in English top-flight football. 38 games and plenty to look out for. 38 weeks, I beg your pardon, and of course a lot of games to look out for.
With a lot of injuries in the offing.
And a lot of injuries. Plenty more to look at in the transfer market with
Yeah.
teams not done yet in the transfer market to bring into their squad. But for Arsenal, let me plead to Mikel Arteta on behalf of Arsenal fans. We need a number 9. I'm going to be adopting Arsenal from now until they sign the number 9. We need a number 9. Also, don't you need a number 9?
Absolutely. I think I share your sentiment.
You need a number 9.
Yeah, we do need a number 9.
To do what?
to win the league.
Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios.